Welcome. You have successfully checked into your abundance timeline.
Welcome to the Rich Girl Podcast, season number 2. I am your host, Karyn Medeiros. We are going to start off season 2 with a whole new direction that is going to take you to some of the biggest shifts of your lives. I promise. And I hope you're ready to step into your rich girl identity for 2026 because I am ready to get started. So in season number 2, our very first episode is all about why high achieving women are gathering in rooms focused on wealth identity versus hustle. Okay. So if hustle was the answer, the most exhausted women would be the wealthiest, right? Like if hustle was like, this is the only way that I'm going to be able to build wealth and a successful life and a business, then wouldn't they be the most exhausted women? They would. Doesn't that make sense? But yet look around. What I am seeing right now and what I'm personally experiencing is a massive shift, especially for 2026. We are no longer asking, what strategy am I missing? Like, it's not like, oh man, like I'm missing a strategy. We're asking something completely different. Why am I still forcing things that shouldn't feel this hard? That is like, it's like the new era question. It's like the question of 2026. And that is exactly what season 2 is going to be all about. So for years, hustle culture told you that the answer was always more, meaning there's always more hustle in your work, more consistency, more discipline, more proving to, I don't know, social media, the world, that you're up for this challenge, right? And for a while, like it worked. I was definitely in an era of that hustle culture, and it worked until it didn't. Your body gets tired of working at a level that your identity can't sustain. So I want you to pause this and I want you to write this down. Your body gets tired working at a level that your identity can't sustain. Your body is over here working on a level of hustle, and your identity can't sustain that. You're having the same income patterns, even though you are hustling and you're doing more. You're having the same pressure or more pressure, same feeling of, I know that I'm meant for more. I know that there's more out there for me. So I want you to understand that this is not a strategy issue. It's an identity mismatch. And that's the problem, is that most people think it's just a strategy issue, that you're chasing over and over the next Instagram thing, the next course of, how to get more followers, how to get more followers, like step 1 and number 2, how to get more buyers, how to plan your content. Like that is all strategy. And don't get me wrong, you absolutely need strategy, but this strategy will only go this far if you have an identity mismatch. Your strategy, the strategy that if you have an identity, if you don't have an identity mismatch, meaning if your identity is where it needs to be to where your goals are, you have a strategy issue, your strategy issue will get you way the hell up here. 100%. So an example of this is that you have 2 women, okay? Same job, same business, whatever. They've been given the same strategy. One will hustle that strategy, right? Till all day, all night. One will work the strategy completely different at a much more calmer pace. They have 2 different identities, okay? The identity that you are working in is how the results play out. So it's not a strategy issue. It's an identity mismatch. And that is what we need to work on, because money does not respond to effort. Money responds to who you are when you are literally holding it. And I don't mean like holding it in your hands. If you're holding it in your bank account, money responds to who you are when you're holding it. That means money responds. It will either come in faster and it will stay. It will go out faster, which a lot of you are probably shaking your heads going, yeah, money literally comes in and then money goes out. Like it's in for a moment and then it's gone. And more is going out than is coming in. And so It's how you move when you have it if you want to keep more money. How you decide when you have it, how you receive, right? Without guilt. Some of you are so guilty of making money. Why? Why? How you lead without over explaining, trying to people please everyone. And one of the biggest is how safe your body feels with more responsibility and more money, right? You can have the perfect plan, but if your nervous system and your identity is not built for that level, the level of what you want, you're going to sabotage it and you are going to burn that shit down every single time. So ever notice when somebody gets a lump sum of money, like say winning the lottery? Like, do you remember those shows like long time ago, like years ago? I don't know, probably 15 years ago. And they would show like all these people winning the lottery, right? And then they would show an example of like 2 years later, they are broke. They were just given millions of dollars. They were given like $50 million. And then 2 years later, they were broke. They burnt that shit down. And the reason is because their body didn't feel safe holding that money. So the body and the nervous system found ways to get rid of it, right? Like you could say, like, well, they were spending, recklessly. They were spending recklessly because their body didn't feel safe holding it. Your nervous system has one job only. Your nervous system is here to make you feel safe. It is not here to make you feel rich. It is here to make you feel safe. So if your nervous system is making you feel unsafe, then like that is when shit gets burnt down. So what I have found lately and what is really working for me is choosing rooms to be in instead of just buying another course that you're never going to finish, right? Courses are great. But for me, my new era and the new era of building wealth is literally choosing rooms to be in, rooms that are going to recalibrate your nervous system, rooms that are going to normalize your nervous system for holding money, right? Rooms that are going to normalize higher standards, where it's normal to be in a room that have higher standards instead of feeling guilty, right? When you place yourself inside a winning room, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of the room that you sit in. That is why, like, surrounding yourself with the right people will literally help you build the life that you want, good or bad, because you got to look around and be in like, what room am I in? Am I in a room with a bunch of losers, right? That don't want anything, they don't have those dreams, they don't have those beliefs? Or do you want to sit in a room with a room full of winners? You want to sit in a room with a room full of winners. I have a room full of winners. It's exactly what I teach inside my 12-month in my 12-month room, Rich Girl Habits Amplified. Last month, I taught you how to teach your brain to scan for more money. It's wild what will happen when you know what to do versus hustling 24/7, right? I think it was like 110,000. It was like a little over $100,000 in extra money of like 8 of them. I asked 8. I have 67 people in there. And I asked a handful. I asked 8 of them. How much money did you make extra? How much did your brain scan and then find? How much extra was that you brought in on top of what you already have, whether it's your job income or like whatever normally comes in, what is extra? 8 of them, $100,000. $100,000 was the combined total for just them. No hustle. I taught them how to teach your brain how to scan for more money, how to recalibrate your nervous system, right? I gave them 0 strategy. All I did was give them wealth identity tools that they implemented into their daily life. Guys, it gets to be that easy. It's not supposed to be hard. We were not put on this earth to struggle all the time. We were put on this earth to maybe learn lessons. That's different than struggling all the time, right? Rich girl identity, season 2, is a new way of operating. It's where money comes easy. It's where money feels safe. It's where money feels normal. It's where money feels good. It's clearer standards. It's higher fucking standards. It's trusting yourself and your decisions. And then all of that gives you the capacity to hold more without falling apart, like way more. This is the rich girl era. And if you don't, and if you feel this shift where you're like, yeah, this is my time. This is my era. This is the rich girl era. Don't ignore it. I know this because I lived it. There was a point where hustle stopped working for me, right? Like I am very driven. I can hustle all day long, but the identity that I was operating from could not sustain the level that I wanted to step into. I had some really big fucking goals. And that identity that I was in that got me to here could not get me to there. It would get me to here and then bring me back, and then get me to here and then bring me back. So I had to train my body on how to feel safe to get up to here, feel safe so that I could step up into here. And everything changed when I stopped asking, what else should I do? What else? What's the next strategy? What else? What other course can I buy? Over and over and over, just looking for that 1, 2, 3, right? I started to ask, who do I need to become? And when I did that, life changing, which I know sounds dramatic, but within 6 months of figuring out what identity I needed to step into, I made more money in 6 months than I had in years. Actually, I made a little over $250,000 in 59 days. It was $271,000 in 59 fucking days. It was wild. It's still wild, but it's actually not that wild now because my body, my nervous system, my body feels safe with that. And that feels normal to me. You know, making $50,000 on a launch or whatever, that grateful for that, but that's not my normal. My normal now, I've trained my body, my brain to normalize up here in the hundreds of thousands. That's what I've normalized. That's the rich girl identity, right? That's why I build rooms, a space where your identity catches up to your vision, catches up to your dreams. So this is what I want you to do for the next week. For the next week, I want you to pause before you say yes, or before you rush, or before you over-explain, or before you people please. I want you to ask yourself one question. Is this like a hustle reflex where I'm just like, oh, I gotta go, 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 go? Or am I gonna make a rich girl decision? That's it. Hustle reflex, rich girl decision. You need to do the rich girl decision. So I just want you to pause, and I want you to just ask yourself before you make that decision or before you take that next step, is this a hustle reflex or is this a rich girl decision? Okay. I want you to notice where your urgency is, or where you create urgency that really isn't real. Like it's really not that urgent, but you're making it urgent, or where you want to prove, you want to prove that you can hustle instead of just making a decision. I want you to slow down, right? You're not going to, if you are in hustle mode over and over, you're not going to make money. You're not going to make the results that you want. Yes, you may make money, you may get some results, but not what you want, because what you truly want is like way up here, right? So we need to build a wealth identity. We need to build a rich girl identity. And wealth identity begins the moment that you stop reacting and you start choosing. If you follow me, you know that I am always harping on just making a decision is how the shift starts. Just making a decision, not with doing more. I just want you to operate differently. I want you to just make that decision. That's where the shift actually starts, because you making a decision, right, I'm assuming the decision is toward that new identity. That's the energy that it continues to go in. So I want you to be aware of your awareness, right? Let's wake up your awareness and think about, like, what rooms do you need to be in this year? I have two. One where you use the wealth identity tools at your own pace, and one where I help you build your new identity in real time. I'll drop the info for both of those in the show notes. I'm not pitching them or anything, but those are the two rooms that I have open for 2026. So this week, I just want you to focus on what I mentioned earlier. I want you to pause and then ask yourself, what decision are you making, right? Are you hustling this week, or are you making a rich girl decision? All right, my friends, welcome to season 2. The hustle era is now over.